think it would be okay for Spirit's lineup. I kind of prefer it over the CK, honestly.
Well, there's no reason also they can just hop.
I think it would be okay for Spirit's lineup. I kind of prefer it over the CK, honestly.
Well, there's no reason also they can just hop. Invoker.
The Spirit really need damage.
I think it would be okay for Spirit's lineup. I kind of prefer it over the CK, honestly.
Well, there's no reason also they can. God, Nightmare something. It's definitely.
Even just like the solo low druid.
With the lone. If
an IO in this patch. That
So
hero
every time they picked
for a while.
IO, when they have IO, they pick
Either
them.
they pick it or they're not against it, slash ban it, whichever.
It's weird. I figure especially from the NA region,
yeah.
like the West really likes IO, whereas it feels like the Chinese teams still aren't the biggest fan of the hero.
Chinese and C teams,
Yeah.
not the biggest fan of the hero.
I think MVP is the only C slash.
They're not
Chinese
even
team.
like C, you know, if you think about it.
Hey. They play in the C
Are you
qualifiers.
trying to strip William here of his SCA
Well,
credentials?
geographically, it's
no,
not. It's
yeah.
not Southeast Asia.
Ah,
We're
okay.
talking.
So you're saying he's not worthy to be a part of C?
They're above C right
Yeah,
now.
Winter's
they should not want to be part of FCA.
Winter's stirring the
They're
pot,
bringing
man.
up the collective average by quite a bit, guys. Let's relax here.
Listen, well, I appreciate the charity that the Koreans have shown towards the SCA region.
Yeah.
I hope it continues.
So they do go for the Enigma, the team fight against the Aya.
Is it picking Enigma into a Bane? I mean, it's still kind of tricky.
Like pretty greedy. You have a Lich and Enigma support. Like one guy is gonna Lich is gonna sit in the off lane, possibly or the mid lane, and just gonna keep sacrificing and securing farm. And Enigma is gonna see you later in 6 minutes. I'm gonna be level 6 and I'm
Or they're gonna run the doubles and ice trap lane and
damn.
just dominate someone super hard.
Man, you sounded way too excited about that. Like it was not that.
yeah, that was
It's
like,
not that great, man.
that was what we did in Dota 1.
His team used to do that.
That's what we did in
why he was
Dota 1,
great.
like against Mushi, because he was so good at 1v1, and we were like, screw this, we're gonna just put Lich and Enigma against him, like we just deny all his scripts.
To imagine how
We actually did
I
that.
must have gotten so mad.
We
How many
actually did-
keyboards were broken from that?
We did that in the event, but we still lost that game.
Serves you right.
But Musha's probably pissed off
Serves you
afterwards.
We lost the other lanes. We won the only lane. the heroes complexity have are really good versus Ursa.
They have a lot of ways to kite him. The Frost Armor, the Craggy, just Tiny's combo, you can toss him away, Entangle.
Malefice is
Malefice
freaking
Black Hole
annoying.
as well.
I think the first Roshan will determine a lot for Team Spirit. If they can get Aegis on Ursa, and then play behind the Tidehunter Ravage, and you don't even really have to play around the Tidehunter Ravage.
Are they gonna do something weird on Radiant? Are they gonna do Rush on Radiant?
Dude, I was saying that on day one. Goblok is the only person I know that would.
He's already done one level 1 Roshan. He did that in game 2 against
That's when you think he's never gonna do it again.
I teams pulled off a level 1 Roshan, a big event like this.
They just
last
did it.
week.
Yeah. Team Spirit just did it.
In the group.
I guess I missed that game.
What do you-
I was
oh my
casting
God.
something else.
Are you even watching
Typical
Dota?
BTS.
Jesus.
You could
I-
probably not do it in a LAN environment, but because there's no more audience to spoil it, you know, who knows?
Right, before that, when was the last time the team did it?
Long time ago.
Yeah, that's right. Been a while.
Cloud9 did it, TI.
It was literally a week ago, LG.
I wasn't casting that game, I was doing another one.
Complexity did it during the qualifiers, I
So
want to
you're saying you didn't watch the other games to catch up on how the teams are looking?
I'm saying I didn't catch up on that.
There you are
game.
busy playing Werewolf.
Yeah, man, this is. Oh, LD.
Better than reading Twitter.
Dude, what do you mean? You're not allowed to. I haven't. You guys have been using Twitter?
No. Okay, guys, the draft is done. We have a gyrocopter as the last pick for Team Spirit. I want to hear from you, Blitz. You said that the Ursa, or rather, sorry, the level 1 Roshan is the most important thing that's going to be happening in this game.
No,
Or not the level 1.
Not the level 1. It would be insane if you did that. Just like, no
I mean,
way.
Roshan in general. It's something to get later, okay? Roshan in general, the first Roshan is going to be very important.
Yes.
Okay, LD, what do the viewers need to look out for, and what will this determine this game?
Well, I think from the complexity point of view, they really want to play the greed game in general. They've been picking like multiple pretty heavy dual cores against EG. It worked out one game, other game not so much. So I would keep an eye on that. If it's a slower paced game, I think complexity will be very comfortable.
Okay, Winter.
I agree. I think Complexity have a very solid idea around their draft. They are most likely going to be. I think we'll have a good chance of winning this game.
Gods, last but not.
Yeah, I think the final thing to add on to what Winter said is this is probably the worst Ursa game we've seen the entire term when Ursa's been picked. I just don't see this Ursa able to fight into this lineup. There's a last pick Brewmaster as well. This is going to be a miserable time for Iceberg.
Okay, well, we're gonna find out what is exactly gonna happen in this game. It is once again an elimination match between Team Spirit and Complexity. It will be commentated by Blitz and Odie Pixel. Take it away.
Indeed, thank you very much. We're here, myself, Odie Pixel, and I'm going to be joined by Blitz here for this next series. Team Spirit up against Complexity. It's a best of one Blitz. We've just seen the draft. We've got some funky stuff indeed. Complexity with one of those kind of signature back to their Honda's picks, the Enigma. Where Team Spirit, they've got their IO, and they've got Ramses on his signature 8.6k gyrocopter.
Yeah. Somebody once told me that nobody plays Enigma like Han players, and we've definitely seen that kind of come true. Like Zai, when he was on PG, kind of had that thing going for him for quite a while. Z-Freak at TI was incredibly impressive. I feel like that streak is going to kind of continue here, but they need this hero to do a lot. They're investing quite a bit into allowing the Enigma to play this passive game.
Absolutely. Going back to TI, I remember one of the games Z-Freak with his Enigma play caught me and Andy off guard where he did the play where he built up the refresher,
Oh, he
held
dropped
it in
it.
the base, didn't reveal it, and then we were like, how did he just do a second black hole? That was back in the day when I was, I was still starting off then, Blitz.
That was one of the coolest plays I'd seen.
It was very cool. So I'm hoping for some good stuff here from Z-Freak on the Enigma. But going into this, we've obviously kind of heard you with the panel. You think this is a fairly even one, or kind of skill-wise, do you favour this to a certain side?
I think skill-wise, in some ways, I almost think that Complexity is a little bit favored here. I think they've kind of impressed, and I think they're the more confident team in general. Like, you have a captain like Swindle, he's not afraid whatsoever. Like, he's down to do whatever just to get through this best of one, and I think their team expects to win this one.
Okay, looking at the mid lane at the moment. So going back to the draft, Team Spirit, they take the IO Complexity, they obviously take the Tiny away from them, and then you end up with this kind of duel versus duel mid, where they picked up the Iceberg Ursa, but at the same time, Limp's got the back of a Hanskin on the Lich. Who comes out on top in this duel then?
I sort of think that the Lich Tiny does, just because you can play it passively. The biggest thing is that the Lich can't get caught out. As long as Hanskin plays the distance game, he should be okay. Because Limp can always just stun and run away, and then they can Frost Nova. But you just allow the Lich to kind of play this passive game where he continuously denies and harasses, and he'll win in the long run. It's just this next 2 levels that's going to be a little bit scary for them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw already they tried to go for a bit of a play there, complexity. If they're able to get the toss back onto Iceberg and then get that Frostbar slower out from Hansken, they can certainly do a bit of damage into the tower, but unless they actually catch the eye, I guess Always Wanna Fly is going to be there with the regen for the Ursa, so Iceberg should be able to tank it as he walks it off.
Right now in this bottom lane, Swindles is actually doing a lot better than I thought he would. He's already picked up his level 2. He's got the next creep wave coming in as well, and that's kind of what we expected, I guess, just because he is against a dual lane, and Panda's got decent stats, but the Enigma's getting absolute free farm Owen, and that's always going to be your equalizer.
Yeah, and I guess we're taking into account the fact that there is an Enigma in this game. Do you think Team Spirit, in terms of the gyro build, are we going to see as soon as he hits 6, he's going to be going around the map, starting to put the pressure on? Or is this going to be a gyro kind of building for more the late game and relying on the Ursa and the Io to do more across the map as we see mid lane? Iceberg just going and diving the tower, taking down the Tiny there. Limp going to be the one to give away first blood.
Husky might go down too.
And this is incredibly painful for compLexity if they can get this. Go Black with the haste rune, just waltz him around the tree line. There'll be a TP in from the Tiny. Go Black, he's sticking around, he's trying to go for this. The avalanche comes out, Limp with the toss as well. They'll try and turn, Go Black still trying to outplay, gets the brain step off, and he might just get it one more. Oh no, he's going to try and get it out! Oh! He will lose his life there. An incredibly close call there for Hansken, and Limp just back on the map in time.
He did that so well. He kept playing the tree line and just inching around it so that the Bane could never get around. That's got to be a highlight-worthy play. I think Limp even bottled him once, just to be able to get the save off at the last second, which is going to hamper him in the lane a little bit, but I'd imagine then Hansken TPs almost immediately just to refill the bottle. But it's like I said, the first few levels are going to be a little bit worrisome for this lane, and so Limp has to kind of respect it. Even with the stun toss, you're just going to get ran at.
Looking at the 2 offlaners at the moment, getting a pretty equal amount of CS. Afterlife, the build on Tides. Do we ever see a Tide go for the Blink before the mech now, or is mech the way you've got to play in games like this?
I almost always think you have to go for mech. Unless you have a Chen on your team, then your build can be a little bit more flexible, but aside from that...
he's dead! The regen is not there. Always Wanna Fly is not going to be able to save him through that one. And compLexity in the mid lane, they're starting to turn up Limp. The CS is an issue though. He is far behind, but if they're able to still get these kills here as a duel, they're not really going to care too much, compLexity.
I think it's honestly fine. Tiny needs a lot less farm than an Ursa is in a game like this, and Team Spirit, they have to get off to a rocking start because they want to get control of the Roshan pit as soon as they possibly can in this game. It's going to be sort of their avenue for the high ground and make sure that Cole kind of sticks together and doesn't split up a lot of farm. Like if compLexity just hold even here and get some farm on their offlaner, I think they're okay, just because of how much the Enigma's picking up right now in the jungle. He's already almost level 6. He's most likely going to go for a mech on his own, which will allow them to go for the team fights early, which I think they have to do. I think you do want to fight into Spirit, although it's a little bit of a tall task. It is a gyro plus Tide.
I mean, with these lineups where you have got the Enigma and the Lich, what's the Lich going to build? If the Enigma's getting the mech, are we just going to see the Lich try and get early 4-star to help the cause kite around the Ursa?
Wait, you think Lich will?
No, I'm saying what will Lich buy because the Enigma's going to buy?
Probably Force.
Yep.
I don't know what Aether Lens Lich is like. I can't imagine it's very good though. I'd almost certainly say he goes for a Force or a Glimmer. You want something that can survive against the Ursa more than anything. Like, Ghost Scepter is usually the item that you get, but then Gyrocopter is extremely good against you.
Talking about the Gyrocopter, how's Ramses doing in terms of farm? Okay, well, he's having a bit of a fighter at the moment, going in onto Swindles, but Swindles, he's going to be able to tank that up and still Swindles. Now 9 for 3, they've managed to still get a bit of farm mid lane again, getting caught out there. I mean, Iceberg, we've seen him go down, a couple of times now in that mid lane. It seems compLexity now, every time that they're just on top of them in terms of playing their playstyle in the mid lane. They're outplaying the side of Team Spirit every time.
Yeah, I think Limp is just tossing the Ursa repeatedly back, and the Lich just kind of nukes him, and the heals aren't enough for that kind of burst. The heal's really good for just those mini engagements, where you get hit by 1 or 2 attacks, and then you're able to heal it off almost entirely, but when you just get bursted for 900 damage, there's almost nothing that can save you.
It's getting a little bit scary as well. I mean, the level difference is really becoming apparent here between these two mids, Limp and Iceberg. And we'll see. I mean, in terms of rotation, when do you imagine we're going to see Z-Freak leave the jungle, or is he just going to stick there until he does have that full mech done?
I honestly think you could just go for the farm non-stop if you want to. Like, your team is not pressured whatsoever. I think if his team was losing mid lane, like if Limp hadn't gotten those kills, then you'd probably see Z-Freak say, okay, I should probably come in with the first black hole, which is what AUI used to do, to help out his mid laner to make up for the fact that he hadn't been doing too much. Or you rotate to the safe lane, zone out the off laner. I don't think that's really a possibility anymore because there's a Tidehunter there. But because the mid lane is going so well, you put pressure without even being on the map, right? Because everybody from Team Spirit right now, they know there's Enigma in the game. They can check his levels, they can see that he's got absolute free farm. They know that their two supports are getting under leveled because none of the lanes are winning, and that in itself is putting pressure.
Yeah, and I guess with complexity's lineup, you talked about how obviously Team Spirit with the Ursa, IO, they're going to be looking for the Roshan, but I guess complexity, their draft, it deals really well with stopping the enemy getting it, and in terms of just kind of dragging the game out with the lone druid. I mean, how does kind of Ursa scale against the LD in the late game?
I think it does okay, just because Fury Swipes is always good against heroes that have high HP. And once he gets a few items, he should be okay, because you can just jump on him with BKB, and there's not a whole lot the LD can do. If it gets to that point, then he'll most likely have to build a Ghost Scepter at some point on his hero, but then Lone Druids just, or not Lone Druids, Ursas just build the Fusels right after BKBs, is usually the build.
So still Ramses, he is just finishing off the
bottom
here at this moment, and yeah, Ramses talking about the man, 60 HP at the moment, he's got the backup, always want to fly coming through, but the ult indeed, Swindle's trying to go for the kill, Goldberg is there, can they save him? There's still a regen here, helping out Ramses, now he's trying to turn, he's just going to take the kill, get Swindle's there off the back of the primal split. A nice little bit of work there from Maya. Good job that Always Want to Fly was in the neighborhood to help Ramses turn that one around.
Yeah, if he wasn't there, I think it would have just been a solo offlane kill onto the safe laner, but still, that's a level 6 Brewmaster right now. You're incredibly satisfied with maybe not the farm that he has so far, but the levels, and everybody else from your team is farming. Yeah, the Enigma's a little bit inflated, but that's still pretty absurd.
I was just looking at the first 8 minutes of the game, the fact that complexity are 3-2, they've got an LD at the top of the board, and they have been running this jungler. They've got to be happy with the first, the beginning of this match.
No, I think they're going to be incredibly satisfied, because their mid lane could have gone a lot worse after that first blood, but they kind of just stuck with it and played out the levels.
As your mech now done on to Z-Freak. And we'll see if he feels necessary to come into any of the lanes yet. And indeed, as soon as the mech's done, Z-Freak and Hanskin can look for a bit of fun around the map. And it looks like mid lane is where they're eyeing up at the moment.
Oh, if Limp could toss him back. They should probably just go the long way, though.
Or would they rather go for Ramses?
They could go for Roshan, too, if they want to... Oh, he's not bringing the Eidolons anymore. Never mind. Oh, this is a really nice rotation.
They catch the gold black here at the moment. It's just the Bane.
They're going to take the tower right after that, too. This would be really good.
Ramses actually smoked top with a bit of his own action, so they'll catch out gold black here. The three of them closing in. No hope for the Bane hit, so they'll find themselves that kill. And it looks like Ramses, obviously, with his smoke, he did head up to the top, but no, he's not going to be able to find anything. Chessie playing it safe, backing away from the lane. So, again, complexity with that clean pick-off, and now they'll be able to get the push on.
That was really disciplined. You notice that Chessie stays in the lane until the smoke pops, and then he immediately runs away, because that signals to Team Spirit, okay, this bear's by himself, and you just don't want to give up a kill for a kill. It's almost never worth it, because you're going to take down that tower. You're probably going to lose your safe lane, but safe lane for safe lane is okay, because you got to kill out there.
Top lane Chessie doing his best there to hold off the advances of Team Spirit as the rest of the guys push down bottom. And he's managed to draw a fair bit of attention away from this tier 1, so it will be complexity getting a tower, and they will be able to hold on to the top one for the time being. So again, as the game progresses, complexity are finding the objectives, and Team Spirit just being denied them.
Yeah, the fact that they weren't able to get this top tower, I think they needed at least one more hero there for them to be able to do it, but even then, Chessie played that really well, dragging the entire creep wave back. It just made it really difficult for them to get aggressive on him, and that's what you want out of your safe laner, especially when the two supports are showing on the map at all times. Like, that's a lot of information that you're granting to Team Spirit, and you can't really just give them something to play with as a result. So they're going to rotate everybody up here now.
He needs to be so careful.
Yeah. They had to do that the first time around, though. Chessie's most likely dead.
Set up at the 9, they'll put the Ravage, big corner on everything. They want to kill the Druid, and they're going to get it. In fact, Swindle's has TP'd in. Yeah, he's got the Mango here. The Mango blowing good, but they're going to beam strip out. Swindle's getting taken down as well. A little bit of an unfortunate play there for complexity. Team Spirit already in full force to deal with that reaction. They'll take themselves 2 kills. They'll receive a bit of tower damage on the tier 2 bottom, but they'll get the tower top. and 2 very big kills there for the side of Team Spirit.
I think if you're Team Spirit right now,
Here
bottom.
comes the relocate. Oh, Hanskett, you look at it with the bounces. In fact, he's going to play it. Oh, the black hole! It catches 3, they move the turn around, but they don't have anything else to throw into it. It's beautiful, but it's not going to finish in anything any prettier. And in fact, it might be Z-Freak in trouble as Ramsey's are flushing now. Limp just come in, gets the avalanche from the Gyro, looking for the toss. He's going to find it. They bring down Ramsey, Z-Freak, and Limp. They're going to look to try and find more. Bottling up Limp. He's got the mana. They'll get the Mana Fist. In comes Hanskin as well. He's got a frost if he gets close enough, and there he goes. Toss as well. Limp will take it. Double kill for the Tiny. And they turn around. It was a great black hole. Didn't look like the follow-up was there, but Limp, he was already on his way down.
No, they just played that so well, compLexity. They understand that with the Ravage down and the call down, they're almost always going to take that fight. And this is so much information right now for compLexity. What they should do right now is look for fights almost non-stop until the Ravage cooldown comes back. Because look at what they have. They've got the Panda ultimate, so I think you just go immediately for the Roshan. There's almost no chance that Team Spirit can contest this.
Thanks to that fight, Limp. Now with a blink on top of the treads. The Midas did get it out to the bed, didn't he?
Yeah, you just bring the Enigma Eidolons over. I think that the Roshan is probably the best objective that you can go for. If you're feeling really lucky, you can go for the mid-tier 1 tower, but I think that's one that Team Spirit will defend till the end.
Some lovely ancients here though for Ramses once he gets himself over there. Has he got life steal yet? Not quite. He's picked up the Helm of Iron Will. Smoke here from a couple of the members of compLexity. Looks to be a warding mission. I'll see if it actually ends up in anything else. At the same time, Gold Black and Iceberg smoking up on Team Spirit. They put their eyes towards the mid lane. It is just Swindles on his own, but he does have the split. They've got the Fiend's Grip there if they can get the lead in. Iceberg's ready there to join in as well. Looks like they're actually going to head into the jungle. They want to try and find Chessie. They know he's here. They're going to spawn him out straight away with the grip. In they go. Chessie, I tried to stop there with Sal Draw, but it looks like he didn't quite get the range of Goldback, and they'll get the kill. He's not able to take it off. Limp now coming in. Wants to try and clean up. Swindles is there as well. They'll still have the split. Play the stick charge. He's got the mana phase. Looking towards Iceberg, but Iceberg's going to fight this one off. Ramses trying to keep the eye alive here, but it doesn't matter. The split follows through. They'll lose the Io, and now can they try and get themselves anything more? Afterlife can get position. He's got a Ravage. He's going to pop it. It's lovely. Hits 3. Goldback, and now Ramses turning up as well. They can look to try and clean up more. Chasing down Z-Freak. They'll get the Enigma kill. But here comes the ult from Lich. Bouncing around. Look at these bounces. A double kill for Limp. Limp's still alive amongst all of this. Now they're going to chase this one down. It looks to be a triple kill for this Tiny. And this Tiny is getting out of control. Limp now 5-1-4. 1k gold on top of the Blink Dagger. We saw him on an amazing performance on the Tiny in the group stages. In this game, it could be a repeat of it, Blitz.
Yeah, it's starting to look like it, and I'm not really sure why the Tide decided to go for drums over getting a mech on his team, just because there's no obvious mech carrier either. Like, if they had a mech right there, I'm almost certain they can win that fight. Like, they blew up Chessie pretty quickly, things looked okay for them, but like, what a turnaround that could have been for Team Spirit. Instead, they're not going to get anything out of this, possibly the bear, but their mid-tier 1 was the bigger prize, as it's in the
Raw. It's a spell, and it's always going to be enough to save. He's gone, and they'll toss the bear back to safety there. Limp, thinking about the animals.
Bear extraction mission success.
6-11 at this point. Top 3 net worth on the board, all on the side of compLexity. I want to look at the graph. What's the overall difference there? 4k at the moment. Nothing too major, but it's certainly something that compLexity built up over the entire time, and Team Spirit yet to really swing this game back around in their favor.
Yeah. And I think Cole should fight this. They know that the Ravage is still on cooldown.
Jumping in with the combo onto Afterlife. Tidehunter is down. Limp at the moment with the 1-2 doing too much. There's the root onto always want to fight. Ramses is coming in with the cooldown. Wants to try and turn this, but the next spot by Z-Free. Beast Grip onto Limp, but they just can't kill this Tiny. He's too tanky. The black hole just sucking in the bear. compLexity surround Iceberg. They're taking there as well. Triple kill for Z-Freak on the Enigma. They might even try to look for more. The bear chasing away Ramses, so get themselves the space for the tower. But compLexity is just turning up this game.
Yeah, and you're starting to see the power of that 4-position Enigma that was just given that much space to farm non-stop. The mech is really making the difference in the fights, which Team Spirit should be like, wow, that item looks really... I was like, I wonder what keeps turning around the fights for them. I'm trying to rationalize, because most of the time there's always a reason for it.
I mean, a lot of people have been buying drums, but as you say, you don't think Afterlife should have this game.
Especially not on a hero like Tide, because inherently you're going to be the frontliner for your team. It does really well against a hero like Tiny as well, where mid-combo you can just mech somebody up, it messes up Tiny, he's forced to hard commit, then your Ursa can go for the counter initiation. That sounded weird, but they're immediately going to go for the Roshan, which is the correct play. Yeah, they have to.
And do you think they'll get away with this one, compLexity? Will they head over over, or is this the 3-1 here for Team Spirit?
I don't think they're gonna get there in time. Like, they'd have to start moving right now. The Ursa does it really quickly. And it looks like they are gonna smoke for it. Swindles is pinging, because he knows that they haven't defended the top tier one.
Certainly out to get over those initial swipe stacks. Yeah, Roshan's going to go down. The question is if they want to try and fight off the back of it. The Bear's just going to be sent in.
There's Ravage up as well. I don't think, even if they were there in time.
And they still don't want to do it. Limps jumps in, he tossed back the rock gun, and Afterlife for the front lines, pops the Ravage, tickles onto 3, Swindles is there as well.
You gotta kill Swindles now.
And here, he gets the split off. The bounces are coming out from the Lich, and now Chessie gets Fiend's Grip. Nice pick up on the side there for Team Spirit. They find themselves the first kill of the fight. Afterlife getting low Z-Freak, moving for the right click. Hanskin gets tossed in, they'll get the Tyrant to kill. Iceberg trying to juke it around the tree line here, still got that Aegis. Goldblack and Ramses are there to try and help, but Iceberg, he's going to go down once, and we'll see if compLexity stick around for a second attempt at the kill. Throwing missile on its way out to Z-Freak, and it looks like they might leave it at that. Oh! Iceberg nearly catching out Swindles there, but he was able to blink away in time. So they do back themselves up. They take a 1-for-1 after losing Roche. Lone Drift for Tidehunter. Team Spirit will be happy with that. They did lose the Aegis though.
Yeah, but I still think Team Spirit, it's a fight where they didn't get completely owned or anything like that, and they got the extra golden fusion. I sort of think that could have gone even better for them if the Ravage was a little bit more on target, or they had more follow-up damage from it, but it looked like Team Spirit got a little bit split up, and they sort of abandoned ship. I think if they just stick together, take down Chessie as a group, and circle back around, then that's a more successful fight for them, but either way, not awful for them, although I still think compLexity is in complete control. They're not as reliant on the cooldowns. Afterlife getting this ancient stack might make a difference, but
Is he intending on finishing this, or is he going to leave it for Ramses to get the gold from?
I think he gets it himself.
Okay.
You can't have your Tide dissacked. Like, a lot of people think Tide is just Ravage, but if your Tide gets a few items, he can mean a lot. And a Blink Dagger would mean so much, because it's a lot better to be able to use Ravage as a counter initiation tool, where you can set people up for like a 5-man Ravage, rather than just starting off the fight with like a 2-man start off. Because you have to walk into it.
I mean, looking at the old brute, Swindles on top of the blink, what's he going to start thinking about growing towards now?
Aghanims is really good, Vlad's is a really safe option as well, just because they're 5-manning so much.
I know this stack's here. I mean, I'll see if they're able to take a...
if they can take this...
Big. They're taking some of these Ancients away, and well, at the moment, the only person standing there aware of this is Afterlife, and he's going to pay with his life. He sees them taking it, they'll take his life as well. No mercy here from compLexity. As the rest of Team Spirit, they're just going to have to let this one go, and this was one of the things that they were really holding out for Team Spirit.
I mean, once they took the Ancients, Afterlife's like, there's no point. He's just like, I'm down to die.
Wicked sick here for the man. I suppose going to be allowed to walk off, nothing to stop that. And more kills, and Limp, really, what's he on now? 7-1-7.
No, he's just gone way too big this game, and the thing is, Team Spirit, they have ways to lock around him, but they need their Ursa to get a BKB so he doesn't just get craggied immediately like he has in 2 of the fights, and he needs something so that Swindles doesn't just launch him into the air every single time he tries to initiate.
There's a Primal Spirit waiting for you. The Midnight Pulse is laid down. They've got the control holding him in the middle of the pulse. They're chasing here. There's going to be a TP reaction coming through from Tide. With a black hole! Oh, no! Slapping continues straight into it, bringing back the Ursa. They'll look for Ramses here as well. He's trying to get in with the cooldown. Down with the Primal Split. They're going to see Swindles get himself out of there. Gets the blink off just in time. And now it's the retreat of Swindles and Hanskin. It looks like they're going to make it. And again, compLexity. Yes, each of these team fights just seem to be going so well. Chessie sending the Baron onto Afterlife. We'll see if